Hello and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's gaming news podcast. Every Thursday at 10 a.m., we collect video game news and stories from around the internet, bring them to one place for your enjoyment. You can find it on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher for audio, and YouTube and VidMe and Facebook for all the video versions. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at IR Games. Stay up to date with what we're doing. We'll tweet out links. We'll tweet out dad jokes. We'll tweet out all the love and happiness you could ever hope for to battle all the negativity that is on the internet.
Indeed. I like all of those things.
I love all those things.
Those are great. Great
Maybe
things.
not the negativity so much.
Well, that one
Negativity
sucks.
is annoying. And speaking of negativity, James, what have you been playing?
Well, I have not got back to Super Mario Odyssey. I will admit it.
Merry
'Cause
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Our happy holidays.
Happy Hollandays.
Because our Xboxes finally came in.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they came in Friday.
That was okay.
All right.
I won't call this
it.
I don't know who to be perturbed at. But like, we ordered these Xboxes, right?
Yeah.
They said they'll be here Thursday. I
Right.
ordered mine Monday night, said it'll be here Thursday, and I realized these are like first world problems.
Right.
And I'm willing to admit
And it
that.
was late Monday. It was not like 8 o'clock Monday.
Yeah, it was
evening.
like 11 o'clock on Monday night.
Yeah.
So I Thursday was reasonable. I was like, if I ordered this on you ordered yours on Tuesday, and originally
Yeah,
it said
I just
Thursday
like
as well.
Tuesday morning at like 6 a.m.
Exactly. So relatively the same time.
Right. Exactly.
As far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
It said it'll be here Thursday. On Thursdays, I work till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Really 9 o'clock at night because, so I was like, I'll have it shipped to my job because I'll be there and I won't be at home. I'll be able to pick it up and take it home with me and start using it rather than knowing it's sitting in the office literally right next door to my apartment and I can't get to it.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday, got the notification that says, it'll be here Friday.
Yeah.
I was just like, but I don't go to work on Friday.
Yeah, that's the rub.
I was just like, ugh. It ended up, I had stuff to do at work
Yeah, it
to
worked
help
out.
some guys out on Friday. And so I just went in and stayed there until my Xbox got there.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like when you work with Walmart, if you've ever used their online shipping, you know that it's typically awful. And maybe it's just because we're spoiled by Amazon's 2-day shipping, which is almost always perfect, except for like release day type shipping. So it's like, it's fine. It didn't really affect anything at the end of the day. Thursdays are usually busy anyway, so it's not like we've been able to play. So it's fine. That day was busy for both of us.
Truth.
But so we got them. We got them Friday.
Yeah, we did.
We got the same games. We got Master Chief
Chief's
Collection, Halo 5, Assassin's Creed Origins. So, of course, we both started with Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, we did because you start with the new games. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
Exactly. When I play an old game, I can play a new game.
Exactly. Which didn't stop me from like literally bouncing back and forth between both games because I could not sit there knowing I could play Halo
Yeah.
and not play it.
That's fair.
Like, go ahead on your stuff first because
Yeah,
I will take over this whole thing.
Yeah, we're starting with Assassin's Creed. If you guys have listened to the show at all in the past, you know that I've never really been an Assassin's Creed guy.
Nope.
Like I tried a few different times. I bought the games like at a GameStop sale. I think I got like all of the
You
PS3
got Black
games.
Flag before I did. and,
Yeah, well, because
never played it.
it was back when I tried.
It was like at
once.
launch of PS4.
Yeah, it was launch PS4, and the reason that I had so many PS4 launch games was because I had my PS3 and game stuff stolen. This was before PS4 launch. It's probably like a year before. So I had everything stolen, and so my insurance company was really great, and they were going to reimburse me the value of the games, not like what the games were worth at that point, but like the value to replace games.
Yep.
So it was $60 a game, and I had 20 games stolen, and I had that money had to be
Do the
spent
math.
on games. So that was impressive. So at that point, by the time that I had like gotten settled and I had replaced the TV and I'd actually gotten back into a place where I could play games and stuff, like I got the PS3, but we knew the PS4 was coming around the corner. So I bought a couple of PS3 games, but I didn't get a ton because, well, I'd already played most of them. Like most of those games had been on my shelves for years, but they didn't care about that. And so I was able to take that money and put it towards PS4 launch games because they didn't care. So I had like 8 games at launch. Like if it was a launch game that was anywhere close to AAA, I had it. And
True.
so like I had Battlefield
Did a
4.
bunch of games.
I had Battlefield 4. I had Black Flag. I had Killzone Shadowfall. I had Madden 25, which was Madden 15, I think. So it I had everything. Like if there was a good launch game, I had it. That being said, I never started Black Flag. So when I knew I was getting Black Flag, I was like, oh, I'll just go back.
You need to be really careful the way you say Black Flag. I was wondering if you were going to pause.
I heard it that time. But so once I got to Assassin's Creed 4, I was like, well, I'm going to stop because I never played the other ones. It's like, I'll go see if I can get them on sale at GameStop for cheap. And I found Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 and 3 and Brotherhood. Those were the main ones, right?
There's one more in there.
There's one more. Well, this was before the simultaneous release of a PS3 and PS4 title.
No, there was 1 and 2, and then Brotherhood and
Revelations,
then 3,
right,
and then 4 was Black
and then
Flag.
4, and then they had a couple others. So I was like, well, I'll play the first few, like get a feel for the games, and I put in Assassin's Creed 1 in my
not have helped you at
PS3.
all.
No, it would not have, and it did not. Like I played Assassin's Creed 1 for like an hour, and maybe it aged well for other people.
Actually, kind of did.
But I just, it was
anyways.
super clunky. Like it's not very refined. I mean, because it was kind of a game ahead of its time. And I just didn't like it. The interface was distracting and
What
weird.
sucked the most for me about Assassin's Creed 1
Yeah.
is if you ran in town, the authority started chasing you. Period.
That's annoying.
It was. No, I still played it and beat it.
Right.
And then I went on to play 2, which got rid of that mechanic, and I played the other. I played all the Assassin's Creed up through when they released Rogue and Unity at the same time.
Right.
I didn't play either of those. I played Syndicate and didn't beat it.
Yeah, you weren't a big fan of Syndicate.
Frustrated the crap out of me.
Yeah, it just wasn't for you. So I've never, like, I played Assassin's Creed at other people's houses a couple times, and I checked it out. But Origins is different than a normal Assassin's Creed game. There's actual RPG elements, unlike what Syndicate and Unity tried to do.
Syndicate tried to do almost exactly what Origins is doing, but it did very poorly.
Right. There was no real sense of leveling. Like,
No.
it was there, but it didn't feel very authentic.
No, you didn't see, like, it just didn't feel good. Like when you got, like, the skill tree was set up differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I can do these things. Yeah, that I don't really, none of them are really skills I want.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't played Assassin's Creed Origins yet, you earn experience by doing side quests, by doing main quests, by just doing things in game, and then you level up, you get ability points, and you have like 3 ability trees.
If I remember correctly, you didn't see your experience pop up until the end of the mission.
Okay.
It was like you do a mission, and then you get, this is as much experience as you got. Similar to like a first-person shooter.
Right. Okay.
So here, when Bayek takes down a guy into the bushes, and you have the thing that I do where you get bonus points for doing stealth takedowns, you see, ba-ding, 5 for taking them down, ba-ding, 10 for the bonus. So you see, that's more of the tangible pieces of it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's nice. Another thing that I really like about this is that there was always like a little interface with that was telling you what buttons to hit to do what.
Yep.
And then you'd hit like a modifier button, and then they all change to different things, but only sometimes
attack and counter
in contextually aware settings. And combat was really confusing to me and just not fun. And this combat is completely different.
Very different.
At least it feels different.
Fly heavier. So in the previous Assassin's Creeds, what I would do, and I don't know if everybody did this, but the best way to get through an encounter is to get into a point where you just could counterattack someone. So basically, you stand in a group of like 8 guys, right? And so you just wait and sit there until you get the attack indicator from one of them. You counter and then immediately attack. And once you like kill someone off of a counterattack, starts the chain, and you can't be blocked anymore, except by certain characters. So you kill that guy and then jump to the next guy and jump to the next guy, jump to the next guy. And you whip through this whole thing real easily.
Right.
You don't do that here.
Yeah.
Countering is hard.
It is
in
hard.
this game.
I love it. I love that there's you have an ability where you can unlock a parry, right? Or you can like parry with your heavy attack on some weapons.
Yeah.
And it's super cool. And the combat feels really heavy. It feels, I don't want to say like it's similar to Dark Souls because that's a super like generic comparison lately, which is sad. But
it's sad and great at the same time.
Yeah.
Because Dark Souls combat is quite possibly some of the best combat ever.
In some people's minds.
I love Dark Souls combat so much.
But it's really good. It feels satisfying. You got the numbers popping up. You can see their health bars. It's very typical RPG like that. So I love it. Like this, I'm only in the first area right now. So it's not like I have a ton of side quests to go on and stuff like that. I've done a few different things. I don't think so.
At first there is a prologue.
Well, I remember like the first time I looked at my map when I zoomed out, and there's probably like 30 areas or some ridiculous number, and I'm just in this one. So I'm getting ready to leave the first area and go to the second one.
So you're almost done with the
So there's a couple more things. I got a few like the Eagle Point, the Towering Ascension, Synchro crap points, or whatever. This is a stupid name for it.
You're a stupid name.
Well, that's a good one. So Assassin's Creed Origin looks really good. A lot different than the rest. Seems like it's a good jumping off point if you've never played Assassin's Creed.
If you haven't played, this is a perfectly good, at least as far as I am, there's a perfectly good point to jump off of. There's one more thing I just want to touch on real quick before we move on, is the way the weapons go. So in previous Assassin's Creed, like you have swords and you have guns and or bows and arrows.
Right.
So you have a distance weapon and you have a up close weapon.
Now there's an actual
that is it.
Loot system now.
Now there's different, and there were different weapons before, but essentially you could go in, buy your favorite weapons after you've done a few, like looted some boxes and killed some people and done some missions. I would literally buy my favorite sword and gun, like up front within the first couple of missions and have them the rest of the game. Which was fine because you get used to your certain things.
I guess that works.
But here, all the weapons are different. So you have like swords, they're quick and medium distance. There's spears, which are long distance. There's like battle axes and maces that are heavy, and there's different bows. One bow, like I forget the names of them. Sorry about that, but this bow does good medium to long distance range and tells you how far the health is going to go down in the shot. And this one shoots multiple arrows, so it's not good for far range, but it's good for up close heavy damage. This one shoots arrows really quickly, and this one shoots really far.
Yeah.
So
it's super. I love it. It's super interesting. Seeing like not only there's like the light and the medium and the heavy categories for weapons, but then there's differences in that, and it tells you how quick or how fast it is, and the different bonuses and stuff. It feels it may be a little bit of a odd comparison, but kind of like a Destiny style loot system.
They're colored like Destiny.
Yeah, you have your different colors:
white, green. Nope. I think it jumps straight to blue. So it goes white, blue, purple, gold.
Yeah.
So common, rare, legendary, exotic.
Yeah. So it's very similar. I don't know how many weapons there are. I mean, it's ancient Egypt, so I can't imagine there's a huge ton of them.
There's actually quite a few.
But I mean, your weapons are different levels and stuff as you go up, so you replace them as you go, and very cool. I like it.
Awesome. I can talk about
that was a lot about Assassin's Creed. That was good.
But the other thing we've been playing is Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
So you said you're 3 missions in?
Yeah, I'm like 3 or 4 missions into the first game.
You've never played Halo?
No,
correct?
so
not like in depth.
So I mean, I've played multiplayer. I mean, everyone played multiplayer when you were a kid. You go over to somebody's house, you play multiplayer.
8-player LAN party.
You know it, man. So I've played different iterations of that. I remember playing around on Blood Gulch and that sort of thing.
Why are we here?
But never like really dove into the campaign. You hooked up your original Xbox a couple years ago when I was still living in Kansas City, when we were both living in Kansas City, and we played through like the first 2 or 3. Well, I'm at the point in Halo where we were at.
Where we stopped.
So now I'm like really new into it.
Are you on Silent Cartographer? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I just landed on the beach, and so we're getting ready to jump in. We just rescued the captain from the ship, which is harder than I thought it'd be. The game's kind of hard. I'm like a little.
I played through on easy just because I played through Halo 1 and 2 so much.
Yeah.
And I might go back and play it through on normal or heroic for better or achievements.
yeah, I might do that. I was watching.
We might play through together on Legendary.
Yeah, it looks. It looks really good. The cutscenes. Well, the game came out in 2001. It's important to remember the very first one. I looked it up. 2001. You were playing on a banana controller before. A banana the size of a gorilla. So it's
huge controller.
It's much different now. It looks really good. I haven't gotten past Halo 1. I want to go through them. I'm trying to pay attention to the story. I turn on subtitles, which I forgot that there were games made in an era where you could read subtitles because they were not this big. They were like this big. It takes up half the screen when you turn on subtitles.
You get a huge chunk of dialogue. It's like this high on the TV.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're talking
like halfway up the TV.
You're talking like a 640 by 480 screen, and it was like 240 of the pixels right there.
You can tell. I mean, because you watch it, you can play it in HD. You can turn off the HD remaster for the textures or for the graphics, whatever they call it, and for the music.
Yeah.
So they redid the soundtrack as well. You can turn that off if you want to and play original graphics, but you can tell watching that it is like all the same movements and animations just skinned with an HD texture.
Yeah, it's
in
amazing.
Halo 1. So it's funny to see like these like super stiff characters walk around that are in HD. It looks like a tech demo, but it looks good. And the gameplay is great. It's 60 frames per second.
Very smooth.
Snappy, and I love it. I've beat Combat Evolved since we've gotten the
Yeah.
the Xboxes. I'm into Halo 2, and Halo 2, if I showed Halo to you guys now, Halo 2, without telling you it would come up before this was a remaster, you'd think it was made yesterday.
Yeah. It just looks like
it looks so good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I need to spend more time with it. I'm just having trouble. We have so many things to play. We had Horizon Zero Dawn, Frozen Wilds drop last week, and I've been playing that a little bit. Really, really good. Gorgeous. Somehow looks better than the first part of the game. Motion capture through the roof, really good.
Redid some stuff.
It looks really. You could tell. Like you go play it, get into it. It's still not perfect. Like it's never going to be perfect, but it's still really good when we're talking open world, non-linear kind of thing.
Yeah,
really good. Really liking the story. Doing the side quests. There's a ton of new stuff to do. New creatures, and it's interesting because I don't have a slide for it because I'm an awful person. But it's just really good. It's really well done. I just like being back in that world again. And also, the new enemies they put in are absolutely terrifying and really hard. Like, I know that they say that you don't have to have like a max level character to be doing this. They upped the level cap from 50 to 60. Boy, but it's hard. Like, I have it on normal, right? I don't even have it on the hard difficulty.
Yep.
Like, I'm just running it on normal. Boy, it's hard. And so they added a new game plus, like before Frozen Wilds, but since I've played, they added a new game plus. So you can go back, you go into your character that you're in, and once you're satisfied wherever you are, you can just create a new game plus once you've beat the game. Because remember, once you're done with the game, it actually puts you back before those events.
Yeah.
And so you're still in the world. So you can create a save point, and it'll take that character and drop it in the new game plus whenever you want. So that's interesting. I might actually go back and do it when I have free time. Which, with the way that my games are going right now,
8 games to play.
I'm not gonna have anything. I got so many Xbox things to do. I haven't checked out Xbox Game Pass yet, which we want to play Gears of War and stuff through that.
Indeed.
I'm excited. Like it's a good time. Also,
this Xbox opened up a whole new world for us.
Yeah, it did. It's really cool. Super Lucky's Tale. I want to play. Maybe it'll be stupid and silly and cheesy. But I want to play it. Yep. I want to get the rare replay, like the 30 like old rare games. It'd be fun. Like play some Banjo-Kazooie on my Xbox One. That sounds weird to say. Like,
all these things to like play, it's like we never could before because we never had Xbox.
Yeah.
Also, the Xbox is like blazing fast. Like it's incredible to switch between games is instant. It's like I'm playing Assassin's Creed Orange, stop, save. I want to play Master Chief. Doom! All right, I'm playing Master Chief. Like whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a couple things that are a little weird.
There are some clunky things.
I mean, the interface. Like, I like the quick menu that comes out when you push the Xbox button. Navigating through that, really smooth, really easy. The Xbox app on your phone, awful, horrendous. And you know why? Because you tap on something, it all fades away and then comes back in real pretty. Well, that's really cool once. Wish I could turn that off. Yeah. So I didn't have to push the button. And then when you're going back through menus, it does the same thing. I'm like, this is really stupid. So I'm not going to use the app anymore. But it's cool. The achievements are just so much different to do. It's less intrusive. It's cool that it syncs to your phone. You can open it up on your phone and read about it.
Yet?
No, I haven't.
It's cool because it makes a different noise and pops up with a diamond.
Ooh.
Scrolls across and tells you how many people got it. So I beat a hard time when Halo Combat Evolved. And I know it's kind of like cheating because I'm playing on easy. But less than 2% of people that have played Master Chief Collection have this thing. And it tells you that in that little roll across.
I've seen it
like, that's
say
awesome.
that at the end of some of them. So it is pretty cool. The installing games from a disc takes absurdly long, like way too long. It's unbelievable. It took Assassin's Creed Origins 2 hours to install.
Took you that long?
It was awful, horrendous. Well,
did that include the download though?
I mean, the download wasn't too big.
The download was like 2 gigs.
Yeah, I mean, the download came in and then, but like from this point that I put the disc in and told it to start installing to the point that it was fully done and playable, it was like 2 hours. I was like, this is stupid. Like PlayStation with a disc, not including like downloading anything.
Yeah.
Like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Like it does not take that long. Short. I don't understand why. Because it's Microsoft, people that invented PCs as they are today. Why can't you install from the disc faster? Those
also,
stupid
I feel
things.
Like the Xbox games are, I don't feel like, I know for a fact, are gigantic.
They are huge.
Because Master Chief Collection was 65 gigs. Halo 5 was 95 gigs.
Yep.
And it was cool. I did appreciate in Master Chief Collection that it installs game by game. Weirdly enough, starting with Halo 4 for me. It installed, it possibly says, goes, ba-doop, ready to play.
Yeah.
And so I pulled it up and it opened the menu and it said, you can play Halo 4. And I could see it loading Combat Evolved. And I was like, I want to start there though. Whatever. But
yeah, there's some cool things. There's some not cool things. Overall, I think it's good that we now have both sides of the coin. So,
we are truly and completely unbiased.
Yeah, right.
We are biased towards everyone and no one.
I still feel at home on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, load times in the Xbox are not very good in the 2 or 3 games that I have. Like, it's not great. Like, it's hard to explain. I don't know. I would have to play the same games on the PlayStation and compare them. It's probably just like perception more than anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I haven't watched a movie on it. I used Plex a little bit. I got a Plex media server, and it worked just as well as any of the other thousands of things that I have Plex on. So I
did have an issue downloading apps like Netflix and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah, I had to like
restart your Xbox.
Restart the Xbox.
So did I. I was so confused. I was
because it
looking
kept
around,
being like download stop or installation stop.
That annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Badoop, installation stopped. Netflix.
Netflix didn't go away.
Badoop, installation stopped.
Because
YouTube.
So here's the problem with the Xbox notifications is that it doesn't come up in the system's notification settings until it pops up on your screen. So you had to wait until all of them came, because I was retrying them like 2 or 3 times. So I had like 20 of them in a row, but you had to wait for every one before you can go and clear it. In PlayStation, when you get a notification, they all come in at once. Then you could go and like mark them all as red and then move on with their life.
Yeah.
Not here. This was stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I looked up some things and not a single one of them said restart your Xbox, and I was like, maybe I should restart my Xbox and go from there.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it was because I was doing too many things at once.
Yep.
It could have been.
And
anything.
Speaking of things that are annoying and need to be fixed, EA has caused a stir on the internet, James.
Boy.
Can you believe that?
Boy, you got old people on CNN talking about it. Maybe. Probably.
Maybe. Who knows?
They should be. It's big news, guys.
If you haven't heard this news,
you need to get
hello.
back.
This is the internet.
You need to get back on the internet, guys.
Welcome
Come on
to
now.
it. So Star Wars Battlefront 2
Yeah.
is coming out Friday for everyone.
Yes.
So it comes out tomorrow. On Tuesday, elite players or whatever we paid more money for this version of the game could start playing.
I think it was the Elite Trooper Edition is what they were saying.
I have it later on in new games. But Star Wars quote-unquote top tier heroes are locked behind a credit wall. Not necessarily a paywall. You can earn credits in-game by playing the game, or you can buy them. So welcome to the world of mobile gaming on your console. So Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader were 60,000 credits. Palpatine, Chewbacca, and Leia were 40,000 credits. And somebody else was in there, and I forgot.
That doesn't sound too crazy.
But
that doesn't sound too bad, Jake. How easy is it to earn credits in-game?
There is a spreadsheet on Reddit. I believe I linked to it below by Reddit user The Hotter Potato, which is an awesome username.
It's
Props
pretty
to you
good.
for that. Made a spreadsheet putting together like how long it would take to do this.
Right.
At the rate of 60,000 credits per hero, it would take you 40 hours to unlock one hero. Single. One. Uno. Top tier hero.
Now, it's not taking into account like completing challenges and like extra credits from, say, doing the campaign or whatever.
Yeah, but how much is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you do challenges, the way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, there's challenges you can do that are like easier and you get some credits for it, but then they get harder and harder, and eventually you're going to stop doing them or you're going to run out of them.
There won't be any more challenges. Maybe you'll have some weekly ones or daily ones, but
maybe
it's not going to be a huge contribution to your credits.
Exactly. The EA community team did have a response, and God bless these poor people.
Boy.
First of all, if you're one of the people that is making death threats to EA developers, leave. I don't want you here anymore.
Yeah, go away.
Go away.
It's ridiculous.
Get rid of the internet. I don't need you or want you watching or contributing to my content.
Indeed.
Get out. You are a garbage bag. But EA community team responded.
I want to see like a garbage bag like come across the screen. It's like bag somebody up and
it doesn't
just,
have
like,
legs,
drags them out.
so it's just that weird like I'm a bag walking thing.
Anyways, what did they say?
Quote, the intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for costs, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis. We'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course, attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics here on Reddit, our forums, and across numerous social medias. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor community feedback and update everyone as soon and as often as we can, end quote. It's a fair statement at the end of the day. It is PR statement to the max. We appreciate your candid feedback. Whoo. Yeah, I bet you do.
Man.
I think on the whole, the internet, with the exception of just the poop stains on humanity that are making death threats to game developers, the internet as a whole is actually handling this rather well. Like, this is the way to handle a problem is to let them know, and it is extreme examples, I understand. But for the most part, in the middle of people being like, hey, this isn't cool, I'm not buying your game. That's the way to let someone know that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. And the post that they made on Reddit, I mean, first of all, I mean, half of it's just absolute crap.
Yeah, it is.
There's no way that you got these values based on, how they got the values from based on the open beta. It's because they knew exactly what people would want, and therefore they wanted to put those behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can use in-game money to get credits in-game. You buy what's called crystals, and that's the magic real money currency you can come in and use to buy crates and things like that, or get credits and what have you.
Yeah.
So as of right now, and it's actually started, people have gone back and started upvoting it. They probably got some bots in there doing stuff.
Probably.
But it actually crossed negative 700,000.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 700,000 downvotes. Well, that's just the majority of it. There could have been people upvoting it. Right now, as it stands, as recording, it's 677,000. It's probably not going to change too much. May shift a little bit.
No,
but I mean, Reddit, like once it's past the day, like you got to hunt it out. Like Reddit search feature is awful. If you've ever used Reddit, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so terrible. But the point has been made. And so this is just one example. EA has had a lot of missteps, and we're only covering some of them. Because it's just not been good. You know, the thing that people have latched onto, if you are on Reddit, if you're on social media and stuff, is the sense of pride and accomplishment is being used. Every comment thread I've read, like completely unrelated gaming stuff. I've been seeing it all over AMAs. I've been seeing it all over Twitter and Facebook. Just like it's everywhere. Like there's just it's the meme that's like grabbed a hold of everyone, and it's awesome. I love seeing. I see. There'll be some like copy pastes of that speech with like money bags after each word. And I see that like on a ton of different like gaming subreddits and things like that I follow. Very entertaining.
So normally what we've done in the past, and what people I've listened to that have been in the industry for a decade have said in the past, like, oh, it's not the developer doing this. This is all publisher.
Right.
Developers have been talking to these people and being like, not necessarily EA developers, but just developers these people know. People like Andrew Renee and Greg Miller and some of these guys that have been here for a good long time.
Yeah.
They're like, on a lot of projects, the developers are the one that push for microtransactions, not publishers. Publishers will often be the ones that are pushing back on it.
Yeah.
You and I haven't talked about this before.
Right.
But making games is expensive.
It is.
And this whole situation does suck for the people that just like poured their heart and soul into this. For the guy that designed a character to play, and this wasn't his decision, is now catching all kinds of hell for this decision that someone somewhere made because they do need to make money. But boy, was this just the wrong way to do it.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just, they started off so well. They show us this really great game at E3. Granted, they picked a weird battle in the Battle of Theed, which sucked in the movies, but they had some good gameplay. Things looked great. They talked about no season pass, right? All the DLC is going to be free. Like that's it. You have that. All you had to do, right? And then you added loot box. Like, okay, well, what if it's just like cosmetic, like skins? Like, what if I want to look like Darth Vader in all white? What if I want to look like a stormtrooper in all black? What if I want to have Luke Skywalker with a tentacle arm? Like, okay. That
Luke
stuff.
Skywalker with Yoda's legs.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. I like that.
His arms are still the same size, but he's just running around those tiny legs.
Like 2 feet on the ground. I like that. But that's not what they did. And, we're not going to get into everything that EA has done because we have something else to talk about on the podcast. But so as a result, this was a couple days ago. As a result, I mean, obviously I'm not going to buy the game.
No,
I had changed my mind last month. Next article comes from Eurogamer, but literally you could find it anywhere online. This is not a hard topic to capitalize on. This was on the 13th. So as a response, they put out a post on their page. They said we're going to cut the price of Heroes.
Oh, like
That's
By a lot.
really, really great. They're going to cut it by 75%.
Woohoo!
So
Winning.
Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker come down to 15,000. Before they were 60. Palpatine and Chewbacca and Leia are going to be 10,000, and Iden, who is the single player character, going to be now 5,000. Great, awesome. That's such a great change, EA. Thank you so much. But, I mean, why'd you do it in the first place? Obviously, to make buckets of money.
Make me curious. Like, well, that change came fast.
Yeah. It's
It's
almost
as if they were waiting for it's like they were trying, like a little kid pushing the envelope. Like,
I just want to
how
see how
far
bad
will
they
they let me walk away from them?
Well, it's exactly
before they
what
say,
they did.
come back.
Well, that's exactly what they did with the beta, right? And they said, "Oh, how far can we push this?" So like, what? You can get the best stuff in the game from loot boxes? It's like, "Oh, no, it's fine. We'll take away the top tier cards, and we'll add some artificial leveling. Like, you got to play this many hours to get to this level before you can equip these cards." Like, okay, that kind of seems reasonable, but sorry, I just
Thanks, Rick.
There's a Rick and Morty moment there.
Also important to point out, James has been sick for a couple
I have.
days.
That's why this podcast is delayed, is because we're
Someone couldn't stick it out and do a
we're
podcast
recording
with
a
no
day
voice.
later. Well, yeah, that's true. But now I lost my place, Jake. I lost my place. So they're making these changes. And you're like, wow, that's really awesome. But that's what they want you to do, right? They want you to come back and be like, oh, look, EA's thinking about us. They're wanting to listen to our video.
They are listening.
This was no. They're like, okay, here's what we want to do. Here's what we think we might be able to get away with doing. Let's try that. If it doesn't work and people get upset, we'll just fall back to this. That's what they've been doing. They've just been cascading down. And so this is stupid.
It's also important to point out, with the drop in price of the heroes, the amount of credits you earn per game dropped in
I don't know how much they dropped per
in line
game,
with it close.
but I know that the campaign originally was showing at 20,000 credits when you finish the game, which would be more than enough now for a couple heroes. Great. You're like already almost there. A few more hours of gameplay and you'll be fine, right? Well, they dropped that amount down to 5,000 now. So they also dropped that by 75%. I don't know the numbers on the specific things. As the game's coming out, we're going to hear more from YouTubers and reviewers and stuff. We're already starting to hear stuff. One review event they had going on, it was not review copies sent out, but one event that they had people come to showed the heroes priced differently. They were priced at like 10,000 originally, and then they changed it later because they knew we'd pay for it.
It's like so freaking scummy.
It's
dude.
so scummy. There's so many things here they talked about, but they said they would make changes, right? And so someone went in and they figured out. This one came out today, so 2 days ago. But a guy went and did the math, and he went a little bit deeper into the math rather than talking about unlocking your heroes. Now we're talking about star cards, right? Star cards are how you, excuse me, star cards are how you level up in the game, right? You attach these star cards to your class, to your hero, to your starfighter, in order to have better things happening, right? So some of them are out there for auto aim improvement, more damage to people. Different things like that. Maybe more shield regen or things like that with your starfighter. And so they changed it so that you could only get, there's 4 tiers. Right? We've talked about this before. You could only get the first 3 tiers from it. And you can't equip level 2 until you're 15, or maybe it was 10. You can't equip level 3 until you're level 15 overall, and then level 4 is 20, right? You also can't craft the better cards until you're at the level to equip them, right? Okay, that seems reasonable, right? Well, it takes the reviewer that, one of the reviewers we looked at, he played for 3 or 4 hours, and he was already up to level 14. So conceivably, you could hit level 20, maybe 10 hours, not a huge time investment, right? Now all of a sudden you can start upgrading cards, right? So this guy did the math. He said, let's assume, that all of your cards are at level 3. You have all level 3 cards because you've been playing for a little bit. And you've already done your challenges and your rewards for leveling up, so you don't have any extra, right? You're just operating with what the game gives you. So he pulls down all these numbers and he's averaging things out and he's telling you what you're doing. So we're talking about earning credits in game versus like earning them in hero crates. And let me scroll to the bottom because there's a lot of numbers. If you want to see it, we'll put the link down below. But so there is a grand total of 324 cards that can upgrade from tier 3 to tier 4. They each require 480 crafting parts. Upgrading all of these will require 155,520 crafting parts. So it requires opening a grand total of 3,111 loot box crates, which will require 4,520 hours of gameplay if you didn't spend a single cent. Now that's
if you didn't spend any money.
Granted, this is if you wanted to unlock everything for every character for every card. That's not always going to be the goal, but this is legit content that you wouldn't get to experience or have in a pay-to-win system that you could if you had these loot boxes. Well, at least you can get it in-game, right? You could just spend some time. Do you have any idea how long 4,500 hours is? That's 6.5 months. 6.5 months. That's 188 days.
6.5 months of you playing. That's like 6.5. Like if you left the game on for 6.5 months.
It's insane. It's ridiculous. So, well, what if we just skipped the step and just bought it with their in-game real money currency crystals, right? So with his numbers, he made it a little bit simpler, but it would require 248,880 crystals to buy these 3,111 loot crates, right? The loot crates, you would just break down your cards that you didn't want, and you would use the crafting parts. And so, if you only purchase these crystal packs, this would cost you $2,100.
A measly $2,100 for a $60 game.
Yeah, you're already paying $60 for it.
It cost you $2,160.
Unless you got that Elite Super Trooper Deluxe
$2,180.
duper edition. This is ridiculous. These are not cosmetic things. This is not changing your skins.
No.
This is not just victory emotes and stuff. This is actual gameplay affecting. If somebody goes out and spends $100 and you don't spend anything, they're going to have stuff that's better than you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're better than them.
Thereby
if they've got,
discouraging you from playing.
what if they've got a tier 3 star card that they unlocked 5 hours into their game that gives them an extra 20% aim assist or an extra 30% or whatever the number is, and you get into a firefight with them? It doesn't matter if you're better than them. They just have to shoot bullets in your vicinity and it's going to snap on. Like if that's not paid to win,
I already don't like those
upgrades
upgrades anyways. Like aim assist upgrade, damage upgrade,
Yeah.
shield upgrades. Like, so what you're doing is discouraging new players.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing by that.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying we only want the people, we want the chosen few.
Yeah.
We want your wallet and we want your time,
Mhm.
which is what every game wants.
Right.
But there are games that they're doing this right, i.e. Overwatch, that people spend thousands of hours in and thousands of dollars in.
It's all cosmetics.
That no one hates Overwatch. You know the people who hate Overwatch? People that suck at Overwatch.
Yeah,
Like,
they
that's
don't
the
hate
thing.
it for the...
They don't hate it because it's a bad game or because of the loot box mechanic or because of how much it costed. They hate it because, like, okay, I'm not an arena battle shooter. Like,
Yeah.
that's not me. Sorry, I'm not a hero-based shooter guy.
Yeah, for sure. So it's ridiculous, and it's important to know these things. Like, just don't buy this game. Just don't. I know you want to play it, but just don't give them your money.
We want to
Like,
play it too.
They need to, like, and that's what a lot of the reviews say. It's like, this game's really good. Like, campaign kind of sucks, which whatever, it's fine. It's a multiplayer game. But the multiplayer's fun. Like, you can play from any era. You can do Starfighter Assault stuff. You can do, these galactic assaults, like, from any different era. You can charge into Theed. You can take down the Death Star. You can do all these things, and it's really awesome and cool, and there's tons of maps, and everything feels pretty balanced, and it's good. But it's pay to win. Like, at what point is that okay or fun?
It's
I'm
okay
glad that
if you don't charge me up front for the game.
Yeah, and even then the system's kind of ridiculous. But,
Oh, yeah.
But this is a free to play system. This is a mobile game that we've got right here.
100%.
And that's not what I signed up
This
for.
is like, this feels like they tried to take, like, free to play, like a MOBA.
Yeah.
And, like, all right, let's take that because MOBAs make a lot of money.
Mhm.
Like Dota 2
There you go.
has made a lot of money. So, like, all right, let's take that model and we'll put it on a first person shooter and see what they think.
Yeah.
And we think it's dumb. And we think it's awful and we think it's scummy. Don't do it again.
I mean, and that's the problem that we run into is because, they saw what we do with microtransactions and things like that. You go look at something like Clash of Clans, which is making hundreds and thousands of dollars a day. Simple mobile game you have on your phone. Like, go look up the sales figures on these like free to play type games that you've got. And it's insane what people will spend on games like this.
Well,
Like,
the
I
trick is,
just
like,
can't
it's like
even understand it.
for Clash of Clans, you get up to the level like not where I was when I left because there were people that are higher than me. I wasn't super high level, but it's like, all right, you're upgrading to base like 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna take 14 days for it to fully upgrade, and you can start changing things.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I mean, to buy the gems is like $4. or $10 or $20.
Right.
Like, this is not a huge amount of money to spend. And you also, especially if you're an Android user, you get the Google Play credits. Like, oh, $5. That's not actually even money I can spend anywhere else. It's perfect. But ding, $5.
Yep.
$5. You take a
It's
million
so easy.
users, spends $5 at a time. Do the math. That's a lot of money
Yeah.
for a
And-
game that you didn't have to pay for.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that makes sense. And who cares in a free-to-play game? But this is a console platform
Mhm.
that doesn't operate like this in a genre where this isn't normal.
Yeah.
And it won't ever be normal because the pushback from this is going to stop the Activisions and
Let's hope so.
hopefully
That's the goal. I mean, it's because this isn't the first game, obviously, that's done loot boxes, and we'll go into. We're actually working on special podcast coming up very soon with a good friend of ours overseas, and we're going to talk about all this. We're going to talk about the good parts of DLC, of microtransactions and DLC. We're going to talk about the bad stuff. We're going to talk about games that do it well, games that don't do it well, and we're going to definitely list off all the things that are wrong with Battlefront 2. And so be on the lookout for that. We're hoping it'll be out here in the next week or so, but we're trying to work on the scheduling, but. Yeah, I don't want to necessarily spend too much more time on it, because I'm just so frustrated and so angry about it, right? Because this is, I mean, it's the it's the slippery slope, right? We've always talked about this, and everyone's like, "Oh, slippery slope's such like it's a fallacy, like that's not a real thing." Like, well, in this case, like it's been happening, right? I mean, we've seen it in a ton of games that were just cosmetic, and then we start to see other stuff creep in, and so something like Overwatch does really well, and so like, well, what if we just like added a few like skins for guns now? And so let's go slide over to COD, right? And we started seeing it a little bit in Advanced Warfare, and even before that in Ghosts, where you could get like announcer voices and stuff that doesn't matter, right? But now we played Infinite Warfare, and like 2 months in, they're like, all right, we're gonna start putting weapons. Like these rare and like epic weapons in your loot boxes. Sure, you can get them with in-game currency. You can also buy them. So all of a sudden, it's like, I mean, no one really like cried about that because that was after all the reviews came out, right? They added this in after everyone's already bought into it, and yeah, they did it on purpose. And our next game that we're talking about is talking about doing that too. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things like we haven't had a change in the price of games since. PS3 went from 50 to 60.
Yep.
So we've gone a generation and a half.
And that was
games
10 years ago.
Exactly. So it's just like games either need to get more expensive or we need to find a different way to pay developers because this is a thing that Jason Schreier tweets out all the time. So the games industry is not sustainable.
It's true.
Like this.
It's true. And there are ways to do it, and this is not the way. This is not them trying to break even. This is them trying to rob you blind.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for more from
speaking
us.
of messes, Call of Duty World War II is in a hot one.
A hot mess. And it's not about DLC or loot boxes.
This is actually just about the game. Call of Duty World War II's release on November 3rd marked a welcome return from the outer space back to classic historical warfare, but the joy of returning to the trenches has been marred by a boatload of issues. We grabbed this article from Kotaku. I forgot the author's name, and I apologize for that. At launch, the game had constant server issues which isn't like surprising at this point.
I mean, that's
it is
normal.
a bit for Call of Duty because Call of Duty is Call of Duty, and you feel like I know they would maybe have a little bit of an influx in numbers this year because people were a little bit more excited about World War II than they were about previous games. But like, all right, you're gonna have around this big a fan base that's gonna play this game, and around this many people are always gonna do it.
S.E. Doster is the author. So. Anyways,
there were issues loading into the headquarters social space, getting stuck on black screens or loading screens, which kind of sounds like Destiny, if I'm being honest. Random disconnects or matches or a party, which kind of sounds like Destiny, if I'm being honest. As a short-term fix for this, Activision disabled the social elements of headquarters, restricting it to a single player or handpicked group of friends.
It's ridiculous.
Which this is the first Call of Duty with a social space, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So, okay, Sledgehammer's doing something that they haven't done before.
Yeah, this is not hard to test, though.
A touch of grace there. Just
it's
only
not hard
a little.
to test. Just throw 100 of your testers in a room. Just see what happens. This is the easiest part to test. Go there, push all your buttons at the same time.
There's limited amount of people that can
It's not
be
that
in a
hard.
social
This
space.
is not like social spaces should not be the thing that breaks. There is nothing that we're gonna figure out to do that your 100 Q like this is stupid. This is it. This is QA at its absolute worst. Come on, No, I get it if you're going to find game-breaking bugs in the games. It's a social space. There are finite things that you can do. There is a space that's like, it's a square. Just run around every corner of this. Just take 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes. Everyone just face roll their controller. How hard is this? It's not hard. I guarantee it. It's not hard. This is stupid. There's no reason. It just makes me mad and I'm not playing it. But gosh.
I mean, that's not the thing that would make me the most mad as much as this part of some players having their ranks reset.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Like, when we were really into Call of Duty, rank is super important.
Oh, it's the most
You
important.
work so hard to get so good.
Only reason to
and
do
imagine
it.
you load in and all of a sudden you're level 1.
Oh, man.
Hadn't happened to the author yet, but they had experienced awkward load times between matches and wouldn't allow them to time to do anything before the next match. It would freeze and then the next match starts.
Which, I mean, we saw some of that in the open beta. Sometimes your time between match would be 10 seconds.
Yeah, you're like,
sometimes it'd be 60.
and at one point you're like, oh, that's kind of great. Another time's like, whoa. Hey, I got a new thing. What the heck?
Yeah.
Hit detection is iffy. They described it as back to the Black Ops 1 era, which, I mean, I kind of like the Black Ops 1 hitbox.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
you can shoot close-ish and get a great thing. Because you can see on the kill cam, you're like, oh, I knew we were close to that guy.
yeah,
And normally you blame it on like, oh, it's consoles, and hitboxes are always ridiculous on consoles.
yeah.
Over a week since launch and 2 major patches, things aren't fixed. That's the part that really bugs me.
I mean,
Two major patches.
I mean, at least they've had the 2 patches, though,
I
right?
mean, they've had 2 patches,
It's
but
pretty
what game
quick.
doesn't have 2 patches within 2 hours of being on?
Yeah, I
Like,
know. I know.
I
But
understand,
just,
like, we are coming in a little bit hot to this article because of the Activision thing, or the EA thing. But, like, at the end of the day, this is Call of Duty. I know they rotate between 3 developers, but this is Call of Duty. The formula hasn't changed for 14 years.
Right.
You go back and play an old Call of Duty, it feels just a little bit like a slower Call of Duty from now. Like,
That's true. It's I mean, it's Call of Duty. They'll get it worked out. It's weird that they had issues. I would have to go back and look to see if Sledgehammer had issues on their last game that they helped with.
Advanced.
I think it was
Warfare?
Advanced Warfare. I think we looked it up last time.
We did.
So it sucks. It'll get fixed in a week or 2. We won't be hearing about it. That's the big thing about Call of Duty. I mean, this thing doubled the sales of, gosh, it destroyed the sales numbers of the last few COD games. It's the
I
biggest
just feel
selling
like Call of
COD in
Duty
history.
usually launches pretty polished.
It's usually pretty good. I mean, you have the server issues.
because with Call of Duty.
So you could maybe blame the social space on server issues, maybe just server strain or something.
yeah, and I guess if they doubled over one of the Call of Duties, then it's like, okay,
It's more than I expected, maybe.
maybe we'll over to like. I like to think they just have servers and there's like, all right, we're not using this one right now. Stink. It's like, not that many people are playing Infinite Warfare. Like, okay, more people are gonna play this one. Stink. Done.
Right, exactly.
That's exactly how servers work.
It is
Right?
exactly how it works. So
No setup or
that's-
maintenance at all.
And then there's also we don't have it here, but now they talked about they're going to bring in their loot boxes and they're going to add weapons into it, and that's going to be starting next month. So, thanks
Yeah.
guys.
I imagine we see.
We'll probably
Fall
be
back on
talking
this.
about it.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll do so. We'll probably
Ridiculous.
do some. We'll try and do some more in-depth research. In the guest that we're bringing on is like a research master, so
It'll be good.
he will have some great opinions, and we're really excited for that.
And we're excited.
My
Should be
brother
fun.
texted me the other day, sent me a picture. He said, "Bro, $230. He bought a PS4, the Call of Duty one.
Oh yeah,
the ridiculous,
camo.
stupid olive drab and camo one, and olive drab controller."
yeah.
As soon as he told me, I was like, dude, you should pick up Destiny. I was like, I haven't gotten Call of Duty yet. No, I might not. But I play Destiny all the time. We should play together.
Gosh, I'm just trying to imagine your brother playing Call.
I know what he'd be like playing Call of Duty, but
or Destiny.
I really want him to like hop in with us and like, it'd be fun, like you, me, and Duff and him going through trials. I think it'd be hilarious.
I've never played video games with your brother. Knowing
haven't either.
how he is as a person, it would be a very interesting segment.
It would be, man, it's just like a social experiment that I want to do. I think it'd be awesome because I would get along with him just fine.
You would. You would probably be the only one. If
I
I'm being
know,
completely
it's
honest.
great. I've known him for a good long minute.
All right, what's up next?
Next, new games. We're gonna talk about things coming out, and we're gonna stop talking about things that are out and are broken and are annoying. And
Speaking
wait
of
for,
never annoying and broken, the Telltale series.
yeah, say one of these to be broken and annoying. Coming out Tuesday, November 14th. So 2 days ago, Batman: The Telltale series releases on Switch. I believe there's only one season of Batman on.
Yeah, there's
right
still.
now.
I mean, season 2, episode 3 just came out last week for.
Yeah. So I
other
don't know.
for real consoles.
It didn't say which season, so I don't know if you're getting season 1 up through what's out of season 2 right now.
I would imagine it'd just be
But
season 1.
It might just be season 1.
It'd be weird to not do that.
Yep. Injustice 2 comes out on PC.
There you go.
LA Noire comes out for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
My question with this one, it's a remaster of a 6-year-old game. Like, Where was the demand for a new one? Like, what's the? Or I mean, like a
I think
remaster.
LA Noire was probably one of those like cult games that
Yeah,
we
but
just
like,
didn't get into.
it kind of came out of nowhere. Like in terms of the remaster, like we heard about it last month, and then it just like, here's our game.
Ooh,
It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird. If you guys know why they did it, let me know.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Boy, they're really milking this Lego thing as hard as they can.
I mean, Lego games are always fun, but I heard from guys that are in the game. They did voices for the game. They look at and they're like, look at the cover of this, and I'm like, ooh. A lot of characters on there. I'm like, who's that and who's that? And these like comics guys, and they're in the game, and they're like, oh, I don't know how good this is gonna be.
Yeah, we've got Lego Marvel. There was like a huge sale on Lego one time, so we got it for like $5, and it's weird because like the open world stuff in Lego, like between missions, is always hit or miss. This is like in the city of New York, and there's like literally hundreds of things around you with icons, and it's super.
That's like too big of an open world.
It just doesn't. It's really hard to focus, and my wife loves it, and I'm just like, this sucks. Like it's just not fun.
Yeah,
I don't know. Lego games are it's hit or miss for me.
I love playing the Lego games, but I don't like getting between the stories. I wish I could play a Lego game where I take out the open world bit in the middle.
Yeah,
I could just jump from level to level.
Yeah, it would be a little bit more fun.
I'm like, see, this is great.
Yeah, so it's whatever.
Speaking of great story, Rocket League comes out on the Switch.
Love that campaign. It's so good to watch that guy rise up from just a tiny little trike to
the ashes of defeat into the aerial arms of victory.
It's Cars 3, right?
Star Wars Battlefront 2 Elite Trooper Edition. So Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So for those of you that paid more money for a game that's not good, you can play it 2 days ago.
You could find out 3 days early. That's,
exactly.
It's no good.
Wednesday, November 15th, Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer expansion Comrades DLC for PS4 and Xbox One. I don't know anything about this.
It's part of Season Pass. So if you bought the Season Pass for Final Fantasy,
if you are,
I heard it's good.
I'd imagine at this point you are probably just now finishing Final Fantasy 15 if you bought it at launch. So it's good news.
Yeah, they did say finish the single player first. There's some spoilers right away at the beginning of it.
So
I don't know what multiplayer even
you
looks
and I
like.
are about 80 hours away from being able to play this game.
Yeah, I don't even know what multiplayer would look like in Final Fantasy 15. It's I'm
interested to see how this one pans out.
This is like a co-op kind of thing or like a PvP. I don't know. We'll have to look more into
Final Fantasy 15.
That'd be weird, right?
It would be. Maybe because it'd be like Noctis fighting Noctis.
Right. And then maybe some more Noctises. Nocti?
Nocti.
Okay. All right. I'm just
At nights would be nocturnal.
Glad
we're Friday, November 17th, Megaton Rainfall on PC, Star Wars Battlefront 2, PS4, Xbox One, PC for the rest of y'all.
Whimpers out onto the consoles and PC.
Squeaks out Elder Scrolls. Speaking of squeaks out, Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
I've never heard of this
Switch.
Game.
Yeah, definitely haven't heard about it for 6 years. Actually just hit that anniversary a few days ago. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim PSVR.
Now that's cool.
That one's
if I was going to ever buy it, like for myself, I'd probably get the VR version.
Yeah. We do the whole Let's Play series, and I bet that would do really well. The Sims 4 comes out for PS4 and Xbox One.
My wife really wants Sims 4. It may be a Christmas present for her.
There you go.
James, I got my Switch. I got my Xbox. I can remote play. It'll be fine.
Exactly.
I'm not playing Sims 4.
No, those games can just. In here is what you need.
Yeah, that really goes well with baby and with puppies and no.
It's not my fault you procreated and added animals to your life.
It's someone's fault. It's probably your wife's fault.
Oh. I have a dog, a cat, and no kids, so my life's pretty good right now.
All right.
If you're new to the show, or even ever made it this far in the show, we always end the show, for now, by doing the drop. We go over the drop. If you don't know what the drop is, it's the drop. I just feel like I'm not saying drop enough. Drop. It is the list of PlayStation games coming out for the next week, put over on the PlayStation blog by one Ryan Clements at Qualm Cider. He doesn't, no interaction from us to him. I just have gotten in the habit of saying his name and his Twitter handle, and maybe someday he'll notice and show us some love. But essentially what we do is just look at the funny names and funny titles and funny descriptions, because a lot of them come over from Japan and just get translated to English and not edited and just put up on the blog.
Yeah, so if you're following along with us, go scroll down to the links section down here.
I feel like
make sure you click and watch.
A lot of room to scroll around this. I can make circles on the blog right now.
Well, that's boy, this is a long one. So we'll have to go quick. Ash's Cricket, the officially licensed video game of cricket's greatest rivalry.
Now, wait a minute. ATV Drifts and Tricks came out last week. I know for a fact it was in the drop last week.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Wait. Last week it was in VR. This one's not.
Oh, this one's probably a boring, crappy version.
Ben 10.
Isn't that a crappy cartoon somewhere? Cat Quest. That guy kind of looks like the dog that took over in Rick and Morty, like season 1. Looks like Snowball.
De-Blob. D-Blob? D-E-Blob?
I think it's Spanish for the blob. Or is that French?
3D platformer where players maneuver their hero, De-Blob, equal parts amorphous blob of paint, struggling artist, revolutionary, and juvenile delinquent.
Weird. I mean, I might actually want to go. Nope, that's a Flickr post. I'm not going to find it. Sorry.
We'll never know.
Why do you do that? Why do you have random images that go to Flickr instead of going to their PlayStation Store link? Why? Why?
Far from noise. You are balanced on the edge of a cliff in an old rusting car. The sun is setting behind the horizon, and night will soon fall. With no immediate means of escape, perhaps all that's left to attempt to feel some connection with the world at the end of it all.
You're stuck in a car?
I mean, I'm sure it's an indie game. It sounds a little bit.
You're stuck in a car?
I'm curious about this.
Stupid.
I would watch this and or play this. If it was like $5.
10 minutes. Car tips over. You're dead. End of story.
Well, not if you sit at the back of the car, James.
Well, great. Then you just get to slowly die. Dumb.
You
Rusting.
like pull the back seat down and you run out through the trunk.
Well, then the game's over. That's literally the point of the game.
Yeah.
This is like a clicking point? No, it's stupid.
It might even be point and click. I like the idea of making a game that's click and point, where you have to see what you're going to do, click, and then move to what you wanted to click to. You get like a certain amount of seconds to move after you've clicked.
I do like it. Makes me think of like StarCraft, where you like have to move the mouse around or to get things going around.
Yeah, you would, but you must construct additional pylons.
You know what? Play StarCraft and then come back with that, and then you can really understand it. Knights of Valor. Arcade Never Dies. Experience the side-scrolling beat-em-up arcade masterpiece. Oh.
Games we've mentioned. Outcast, Second Contact. Outcast Second Contact is a complete remake of the cult title Outcast, the first 3D open-world game in video game history. In Pioneer in modern active adventure genre. Modern action adventure genre.
That's really good sentence reading. See, when you said Outcast, I heard Outlast, so I was very confused. For a second, when I scrolled down and I didn't see that awful game. Road Rage, over-the-top knockdown, drag-out motorcycle combat game. Raise your hands if you've been waiting for this one. No, you haven't.
Not bad.
The test your skills on a range of bikes. Race, fight, and hustle your way through the ranks of an insane outlaw motorcycle. The cover art just looks ridiculous.
There's VA11 Hala. I think it's supposed to be Valhalla.
You skipped over Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter.
You're correct. I'm going to call this one Valhalla because whatever. Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action is a booze 'em up about waifus technology and
waifus.
In post-dystopia life.
Jeez. That's weird.
There it is. PlayStation Music has the Justice League soundtrack. So there you go.
Oh, good.
And Need for Speed Payback soundtrack.
Bullet
for My Valentine.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Live from Brixton, Chapter 2.
Who knew they were still, still.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And that's pretty much it. I don't even recognize the rest of those weird things.
That means it's pretty much it for our show. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and liking and subscribing, doing all that fun stuff. We love you for it. Please give us a rating on whatever podcast thing you're listening to. Let us know where you're listening to it, because we don't have great analytics of knowing. Follow us on Twitter @IRGames. Tweet at us. Let us know what you thought. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.